Hello, hello, and welcome to Dear Dana. I am happy to see you here on a Saturday evening. Can you believe it? I am actually on time, and my volume is on, and I'm showing up all casual on a Saturday night. Well, Saturday night here in the South. Don't know what time it is wherever you are appearing from, but I'm very pleased you're with me. Again, welcome to Dear Dana. Please like, subscribe, and share. I often forget to say that, and I might have to remember to say it sometime down the road. Saying hello to everybody in the bushes. Hello, Paranormal Witch. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Dorit Frank. I am so happy to see you. It's been a little bit, but I'm happy to see you. Yeah, we're hitting on a softer subject tonight. It was a little heavy Wednesday night because we were talking about what was going on with Gabrielle. Hello, Rosemary. Yeah, I'm still keeping updated on that. We still have not captured our fugitive, but everybody in the world is pretty much keeping abreast of that. Yeah, I'm sure everybody in the United States is keeping abreast of that. If he is around, everybody is searching for a Caucasian white guy with roughage. Now, I do not feel sorry for Brian, but I feel sorry for every other Caucasian white guy walking around with some whiskers because people are trying to take them down for sure. Because Brian has that average bald white guy look for sure. We can laugh about the guys getting nailed that aren't him, but can't laugh about Brian. Anyway, on to lighter topics. Thank you for being here, Rosemary and Dorit and Paranormal Witch, better known as Willow, and everybody else that might be peeking in the bushes. I hope one day you will come in the room so we can get to know you better. It's really not scary, and the topics really aren't voodoo, juju, hoo-hoo. Because as you'll get to know me better, you will see there are more scientific connections than you think. Hello, Sheila Marie Precious. She is one of my mods along with Willow. But it's usually pretty calm in here. We typically don't need mods, but you never know. There have been occasions. There have been rare occasions we have needed them, of course. Tonight's topic is, are you an empath, a lightworker, a highly sensitive person? Yeah. I think that may not be verbatim what I called it. That may not be exactly, yeah, it is. Are you an empath, a lightworker, or a highly sensitive person? There are crossovers there. And as the room increases, if you all are interested, I even have quizzes to find out where you fit, and you might cross over. Some people just fit in certain categories. Some people are a little bit of a crossover. A light worker, and we'll go into it more shortly, is a person that inevitably ends up in a station of, how do I put it? You might consider Mother Teresa a light worker. She dedicated most of her life to doing good for others. Light workers are typically people that are spiritual, that end up in a station of, even if they are wives or doctors or people that aren't necessarily in a helping profession, but they spend a good part of their life in the service of helping other people that may be spiritually how would I put it? Spiritually at the core of who they are. They tend to walk a spiritual path, for lack of better. It has nothing to do with religion per se. They just tend to be on a spiritual journey, for lack of better, trying to learn more about themselves, do better. It means a lot to them to assist, to help people. That would be a light worker. Does that make sense, Sheree Frank? Hello, Sun TV and Major Precious One. Thank you for the sweet compliment. That would be a light worker. Someone that it's in the depth of their core that it's really important to help others. It's just built into them. It has a lot of meaning to them to help others. It's just built in. Some people, they might help somebody here and there, but it's not really a core meaning, or it's not really a core value that they feel like they need to. Hello, Just the Tea, please. I'm so happy to see you. I know the time zone is rough for you for sure. But yeah, that would be a light worker. But before we get started, before I forget, let me throw down my intros. Let me throw them down. Oop. Yes, all the butterflies in here that name themselves butterflies. Because we get to go in our cocoons, rediscover ourselves, come out more beautiful, learn about ourselves as we bloom and blossom in different ways. Never too late. Never too late to learn more about ourselves, ever. Ever. Okay, you're here in this chat for a reason. Oh, and by the way, something interesting came up last week. I know it's a heavy topic, but also the issue of people, and some people came to me about it too, about feeling like a lot of channels don't pray. And I have no issue with praying. None. A lot of you know that I had a near-death experience. I'm beating it to death, telling you like an old horse. But when I was 12, and Creator, God, I say God. So, but everybody has different ways of practicing their belief systems, right? Some may say Buddha, some may say whatever. And I have no problem with that, because in the end, your creator's your creator. We're all striving to end up in the same place ultimately. Hello, Dr. Dreidel. So I'm going to take a poll. If we were to say a prayer that did not dignify a name other than to say Creator, if you all wanted to say some kind of prayer that just, said something to, I don't know. You didn't know, Dana? I don't know. I don't know how you all feel about that. I hesitated because I want to respect everyone's belief system. That's why I hesitated. Not because I don't believe in prayer. I do. I say a prayer and do all of that before I ever come on here. I want to respect everyone's belief system. So I don't know how people would feel about it, other than to say, I want our Creator to surround us with love and light and health and protection, and to bless all those in the land and protect our children, to say something to that effect. You all think about it, and you are the community here. This is your channel too. Oop, I can see me move. I don't know if the rest of you can see me move. Shelly said, I'm freezing on her end. She didn't know if it's her connection. I want you all to think about how you feel about that. A couple of people wrote me and said they felt that was a good thing. I don't know how you feel about that, and I want to respect all of you. So we can say with our Creator, right, to respect everybody and do a brief something, right, to respect our world, to respect everybody. But let's go to the topic. All of you think about that and leave me notes in the comments about how you feel about it, since we don't have a community page yet. Leave me notes in the comments about how you feel and think, since this is your channel too. This is your community too. I want it to be a safe, comforting place. Oh yeah, to your Creator. I want it to be a safe, healing place. A place that when it's all getting chaotic out there, that you feel comfort and okay here. Not that we won't ever talk about topics that, like this past Wednesday, that aren't always good topics, but they're happening in our world. But you know what I'm saying. But please, it's not, that's right now, short of the channel or DMs, down in the comments is the only way I get your feedback right now. So it's very important, and I always reply back to you. That helps me hear your voices, gives you time to think and get back with me. Even if it's about, what do you want to hear? How do you feel about something? So we can discuss it. But today we're talking about, are you an empath? Are you a light worker? Are you a highly sensitive person? And I also came up with 2 quizzes. And we will do quiz A and quiz B, and I won't tell you which quiz is what. And you probably will need a piece of paper and a pen if you want to take them in a little bit, so you can mark how many pertain to you. You can mark how many pertain to you. So when I break down which scores what, you can figure out who you really are in these scenarios and get a better idea, so then you can study more about yourself. Yeah, how is everybody doing tonight? How is everyone doing? Ultimately, again, when I say we pray, we're talking to the Creator, and we're asking for other people and not just ourselves. And when we meditate, we listen. We listen. And sometimes we get answers and guidance and stuff. Yeah. That's why meditation's important. And that's why a lot of times when I do that 4, 4, and 4, that 4-second, 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 that inhaling through your nose to the count of 4, holding to the count of 4, and slowly breathing out to the count of 4, it's not just to help you reduce tension and release anxiety from your body. It's not just. It's also a way to help you kick off a mini way to help you learn to meditate. It's a baby way to help you step into meditation. Because a lot of people say, oh, thank you, Rosemary. Hold on. A lot of people say, I can't meditate. I can't seem to meditate because my mind's thinking about this and that and my kids and schedules and what did I do? What did I forget? I can't meditate. But you can. But you can. Because I used to be the exact same way. I could not shut off my brain. And even if you only learn to do it a few minutes at a time and then add a minute. Hey, Francesca! So happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you. Even if you only add another minute at a time and another minute, you are slowly moving your brain into adjusting and it's sort of like when you teach a child, train a child to sleep training, right? They start getting adjusted to it and sleep longer and longer and longer. Doing like the 4-minute breathing, the conscious breathing, is teaching your unconscious brain that, oh, okay, this feels okay. And then it's adding more time, and your brain's going, okay, yeah, I remember this. This feels good. And adding another minute, and then before you know it, it's falling into that pattern so easy of meditating. And I walked through, like we did, when we did the guided meditation recently, the one I did with all of you. And then some of you said, oh, wow, that was 45 minutes or however long it was. And you didn't realize it had been that long. It felt much shorter. Your unconscious brain had already started adjusting. It had already started adjusting to that mode. You didn't realize that you fell into that pattern already. And that's a lot like hypnosis. People were, oh, I wasn't hypnotized. I heard what was going on. You can't hypnotize me. And then you'll say, well, you've been here. And they'll say, what time is it? Oh, you've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, my Lord, I thought it was 4 minutes. Are you kidding me? And that's when they'll know they're hypnotized. And no one's controlling you. You're in control the whole time. Your unconscious mind just sort of goes, oh, okay, oh, cool. This is feeling good. This is feeling good. But anyway, to get back to why we're here, just take a moment. I won't put you through the whole thing. And again, like we started the other time, but we went longer because it was a whole guided meditation. Just take a moment, relax just for a second before we do this. And just close your eyes just for a minute. Inhale deeply. And imagine that star like I did before. Star above your head. A brilliant, blinding white light, starshine above your head. But it's leaking into your body, that blinding white light of starshine. It's leaking like water through your whole body, scooping up toxins, negativity, all that does not belong, and moving it down to the earth. Inhale deeply to the count of 4. Hold it. Blow slowly through your mouth to the count of 4. Out. Good job. That starlight is still leaking above your head into your body, moving like the ocean through your body, scooping up all negativity down to your fingertips, through your neck, your chest, your torso, your legs, your knees, your toes, down into the earth, being changed, transmuting and transforming, scooping up all negativity, toxins, all that doesn't belong. Inhale deeply to the count of 4. Slowly hold it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blow out slowly out into the earth, into the environment to the count of 4. Good job. One last time, imagine all of the starlight moving through your body like oceans of water around your body, in your environment, blessing into all those that come in contact with you. Your body feeling loose and limp. Let it move through your body, all of that light down into the earth, scooping up all negativity, toxins, all that does not belong now. Feeling relaxed, feeling comfortable, safe. Inhale deeply to the count of 4. Hold it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And blowing out again. Excellent job. Is everybody a little relaxed and comfortable? Just feeling calm. Just feeling relaxed. Let's talk about empaths and lightworkers. Let's talk about highly sensitive people. Good. I want to take a poll in the chat. How many of you feel like you are empaths? Tell me in the chat. If you don't know what it means, tell me. But I want to know at the top of the chat. If you feel like you're an empath. Rosemary says, what is an empath? People that are, you've heard of empathy. Most of you have heard of empathy. And sympathy. You have sympathy for someone, you feel bad for someone. When you have empathy for someone, you feel for someone. People that have empathy usually feel for someone, and you've seen people cry and other people cry with them. A lot of people that have empathy feel the emotions of other people. They're happy when other people are happy. They're sad when other people are sad. They just really feel the emotions of other people. Hey, FM, thank you for being here. And a lot of times, I've explained it this way before too. You can walk in a room if you're very empathic. And if there's a lot of anger and negativity and in the room, tension, you can pretty much, if you're empathic, walk in a room and feel it the second you walk in. If you're very empathic, you can just feel that energy, that tension, all of the feelings without anyone having to tell you. When you're empathic, you can just feel that charge and be like, whoop, I don't need to be here. When you're very empathic. People that are not empathic would walk in that same room up to these people and start saying I'm not calling the person dumb, let me preface with that, but they would start saying the dumbest things you've ever heard because they don't know how to read the room. Haven't you heard somebody say, read the room? What are you saying? Read the room. Do you think you could be empathetic but lose it due to life. No. I feel like once you're an empath, you're always an empath, but you may just completely block yourself off to some degree. Maybe choose not to. It's not that you aren't any longer. Maybe you choose to become blind to it. Maybe you choose just to block off and not see. But it's still there somewhere. Hello, Marie Crumbacher. Hello. But once an empath, always an empath. If you really are an empath, it's going to be there. But empaths generally, I mean, there's different levels of empath too. Some people are more empathic with animals. Some people can be more empathic with animals. Some people can be more with emotions. Some people can be more empathic with people's physical symptoms. You know what I mean? Some people can be more connected to plants and flowers in that way. Some people are empathic in general on all levels. I mean, a high level empath tends to be on all levels. You can, if you focus on your gift of empathy, you often can level up in some ways, but that comes along with a spiritual path. There's a Hatha empath, which can be gifted in a lot of ways, but then they can be so out in left field as well that they can have some negative things about them that put them off with people too. It's a gift to be an empath, but it can also be a curse. Because sometimes when you're an empath, if you don't learn how to navigate it, you don't know what belongs to you, what feelings, emotions, physical symptoms, etc., and what belongs to another person. What you may be picking up from another person. So you have to learn how to distinguish. You have to learn a lot about yourself, and it can be a gift. You have to learn how to navigate the gift. Learn how to shield yourself so you understand what belongs to you and what belongs to them. So that's why I always encourage that you shield yourself. And I always do prayer, but I always also shield myself with a cocoon of white light. I imagine a cocoon of white light around me. I call upon it too. It's like a shield. And I do so in prayer. So it's almost like an energy around me where I know what belongs to me, and therefore I can sense what belongs to another. Does that make sense? Otherwise, energy's being exchanged all the time, and you might take on a physical discomfort of another person, and you might take it on into your body, and it might feel like something that's wrong with you that really is not wrong with you, like stomach ache, headache, etc., etc. And when Noah was little and he didn't feel pain for the first 2 years of his life, that would occur with me. I would take on a discomfort in his body until at some point I started putting two and two together and was able to distinguish what was going on with him and what was going on with me. And it finally helped me to know when something was going on in my baby's body, so I would know when to take him to the pediatrician, which was a godsend, especially with a special needs child. It was a godsend. Hello, RC. How are you? Do not worry about being late. Oh, let me tell you, like my mentor and professor and basically my spiritual mom told me, and it's learning the hard way, and it becomes more and more true as I get older, to be on a spiritual journey and to be helping others is a gift, but it is a very difficult journey. It is a very difficult journey. Would I trade it? No, because I have needed it. I have needed it on so many different levels, especially with my kids, especially with Noah. And he was and is, and I say is because I still feel connected, one of the greatest blessings along with my daughter, and I would not trade. So when you see people overly excited and want to play with the spiritual, it bothers me. I'm not going to lie, it bothers me because it's nothing to play with. It's not a game. It's nothing to play with. If people are serious about this path, then I will seriously help. But if they are playing with it, I don't want to help. Does that make sense? I don't want to see people playing games with it when they want to talk about gifts and this and that and the other. It's a serious thing. It's not a, that's why I say this isn't a woo-woo juju hoo-hoo thing. This is when I discovered things when I was little and 12 and all this other stuff. I struggled with hiding it most of my life. I struggled with people accepting me and my mom worrying how people were going to react and fearful and not wanting it, etc., for years and years and years. And it took me forever. And I still don't go blasting it on corners. It took me forever and ever to be able to embrace it, that I could help people. Knowing that I could help people, that is what made the difference. That is what makes the difference. So it's not a game. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to lecture anybody. I really hope you know that. And it's the whole reason, or the biggest reason, that I became a psychotherapist. Because I thought, cool, I can help as many people as possible, help them get to where they're healing the quickest so they don't need me for a lifetime. Nobody has to know. Nobody has to know. So I'm on here trying to teach all of you how to embrace all of these pieces of yourself that you were created and it was already built into you. It's already built into you. I hope I'm making sense. And I really am not trying to lecture, but you know what I mean when people are like, oh, I got this and I got this gift and let's play with it. And, I'm sorry. Marie says, yes, Natasha, absolutely. The movie The Secret caused a lot of fake spirituality. It made some sense and it opened up some eyes, but it did cause a lot of fake spirituality, yes. Marie says, from the time I could remember, I always sensed others' feelings. I never understood for many years why others could feel my feeling like why they couldn't feel your feelings. I was in my 40s before I understood. Absolutely. When you're a kid and you can do it and you think everybody does it and then they can't and your feelings get hurt because they can't understand why you're hurt, or they call you oversensitive, or what was the thing um, my grandma said, oh, it was an actress back in the old days. I can't remember. Sound like a nurse or something. It'll probably pop in my head later. Thank you. Making perfect sense. Thank you, everyone. It's driving me crazy. I can't remember. Sarah Heartburn. That's what it was. Because I started crying one time. She called me Sarah Heartburn. And I never knew what that was. But yeah, when you're sensitive and you get your feelings hurt, and then when you know people are not telling the truth about things, and then it bothers them that you can see through them, especially when you're a kid and they're adults. When you know that they're being deceptive and different things. That's why, I always, especially to my daughter, I'm like, as long as you never lie to me, we can have a lot of trust in this house. But when you lie to me, you always have to rebuild. Hello, Motor City nerds. Thank you for coming. But that's why integrity is so crucial to me, that do what you say and say what you do. And then people can always count on you being genuine and that you are who you are. They can always count on you being the real deal. And that's why it's always been like super important to me. And that you are always going to be there when you say you're going to be there. All the spiel. It's always been really important to me not to let people down and be who you are, be genuine, be grounded, not be fake, don't lie, basic human realness. So, yeah, but also when you have that empathy and you can relate to people, and it makes it easy to feel them, really feel them, and you can cue a liar in a heartbeat, but you can also feel the realness in someone and connect and know when someone's truly genuine. Nothing better. And then when they see you and they can feel and sense the genuineness in you, priceless. I love it when they can look at me and they know I'm real. That, to me, means everything. Santivia said, since I was very young, let me pull it up. I forget I can do that. Like today, I'm sitting here texting to you. I'm typing in the chat like I can forget I can talk straight to you. Now, look, that's a Dinkus thing. I definitely have my Dinkus moments. Since I was very young, my family always thought I could just anticipate what others would need. So everyone has always depended on me. That's definitely a thing, Santivia. That's definitely a thing. I think that to some degree they do that with me too. And I do tend to have that. Yeah. And some of my family will start to, what did you, like my mom will go, what did you, and I say, I put it there the other day before she ever finishes what she's going to say. I'm bad about that with my family. When did you, and I'll just finish answering what they were going to ask, or go get what they wanted before they finish whatever they were going to ask or needed, or have it done the next day before they got around to, you know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I'm saying, Son TV. I got you. I got you, girl. Hey, C. Cruz. But it's like when I was working in the emergency room, I would take all the psych patients, and some of them were drug and alcohol. Some of them were psychiatric, and I would see some rough things. Really, 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 really rough things. Not to say that I didn't work in a brick and mortar and take regular clients, but I saw rough things. And to be able to feel all of those things, I can't even tell you. And I would have to walk out and go to my office and cry, and then go back. Thank you. And I saw the other things that didn't have to do with me. Sometimes they'd call me in there anyway. So I'm throwing back and forth whether to go back and do it or just to stay on the journey of oh, thank you so much, Motor City Nerds. Throwing back and forth whether to go back and do it or start doing I've thrown back and forth whether to start doing individual private practice or to try to go and just become the spiritual psychotherapist and just do my thing on here, taking clients all over the world. This is where I am. Of course, keep my YouTube, but this is my where I am, standing on the threshold and looking at the fork. Thank you, Son TV. Then we have Lightworkers. Any of you that have this ongoing pull in the core of you, and you don't have to just be a doctor or a therapist or a teacher or a whatever helping profession. Of course, all helping professions are light workers. But you don't have to be in a... Thank you, Natasha. I'm standing on the cusp of trying to figure out which way to jump. Since the online teaching thing is slowed down. Light workers, back to that. You don't have to be in a helping profession to be a light worker. If it is in the core of you and you are a person that volunteers all the time, you are a light worker. If you are a person that is always out in the city And it's your instinct naturally to help a mother stranded on the side of the road, or the man that can't open the door, or to make goodie bags for the homeless, or to volunteer at an animal shelter, or to go to Mexico and put in time. Whatever it is, and you always have this itchy urge, and you just happen to be going to the grocery store that day and you see someone that's in aid, and you always have this urge to be helping someone, and it's been your whole life, you are a light worker. If that is at the core of your soul, and it's always been there and it keeps being there, you are a light worker. If whatever you're doing, you are doing in a way to expressively help other people, you are a light worker. This has nothing to do with people that are living their life just for their family. Okay? There's nothing wrong with living your life just for your family. You may be dedicating your life just for your family, and that means you're a good, loving, kind person. And you are still a good soul. But what I'm talking about is you always have this urge to make a difference and do for others. You are a light worker. It is possible to be a little of all of them. And like I said, you didn't hear me earlier. And for those that want, I've got quizzes to do to help figure out where you fall. So I got those ready earlier. But I know I've said it a million times before. And some people may not want to believe it. But we are in a supernatural spiritual warfare. Oftentimes, you will find with light workers that they may have a special innate spiritual gift, for lack of better. They could be empathic and feel other people's feelings. They may pick up on pain or just sense pain in people, or sense. Did you know a lot of doctors might intuitively sometimes know how to diagnose people even without medical school? Not all, but some. And that's why a lot of times they were directed to medicine. Did you know a lot of scientists as kids had this draw to knowing things about science, and they were guided and led in that direction? And I have found this in many of the kids that I've taught, just sort of intuitively knowing things. It's true. The world works definitely in mysterious ways. We just don't listen sometimes. I know that some of you have been around little kids that you have seen these unusual gifts in them. And you thought, wow, I bet they're going to be so and so and so and so. Or I've never seen that kind of gift in such a little kid. Right? There are higher things working in us, through us, around us, that we've just pushed off our whole lives. Our moms had, our dads had, our grandparents have. Let me tell you something. My grandmother, one of my grandmothers, would have no more talked about some of these things in her younger years than anything. She was prim and proper, always one of the hierarchies of the church, a businesswoman from, look, she was doing business type things when it was not known for women to do it. She was gorgeous, gorgeous. But as she got older, when I had cousins from that grandmother who would have beat me with the Bible, and this grandmother knew about my near death, she knew everything. She loved God. We talked about, she was my greatest supporter because we talked about it and the pieces fit together. Trust your gut. Everyone trust your gut. Things do not have to exist separately. The pieces fall together. Trust your gut. We weren't created with these instincts and intuitions and this knowingness. We were created with it. With it. It's not a game and a woo-woo juju. We were created with the science behind it and the internal, just like love and the instincts we have with our children. You understand? Trust your gut. So you have these instincts all along. They're there for a reason. Trust your gut. Learn about yourself. I've talked about it before. And like I said, they've heard it a couple of times over. No. Do not be sorry, Don't be sorry, Marie. Don't be sorry. I'll talk about it a tiny bit. Girls played a pass out game with me when I was 12 and held me in the air, unconscious, with no oxygen being able to return to my lungs. And when they did that, my heart stopped. Big girl held me too long, and my heart stopped. And I had an experience on the other side. And my experience with the Creator was hearing and having a conversation with the Creator, and I saw blinding, beautiful light. And He told me I was supposed to lead with love. And my 12-year-old consciousness was like, but I'm not a leader. And there's way more to it. The colors are so much more rich and vibrant than we have here. There are more colors than we can even describe here. So many more colors. And they're illuminated from the inside out. And plants and animals all come to the same place. And I got to see a creek, and I got to see a building at the end that looked like columns and carvings and angels on it and ornate, and was explained that was where people that were transitioned tragically were taken to rest, so to speak. I can't go into all the details tonight because it's too long, but they get to rest and transition kind of like a spa. People oversee them because sometimes they aren't aware of what happened because it happened. It may have happened in timing, but not exactly how it was planned, if that makes sense. But they get to go to the building to transition more easily. But anyway, everything resonates with a vibration that works together and it moves through your vibration. Everything sounds like music together. And we don't speak through words. It's just, there's so much more. But I got to come back and had to learn a lot on my own and went and got a book. I'll try to fast forward. And the book was Life After Life by Raymond Moody. And fast forward, I ended up at a university in Georgia. I was in North Carolina when I was 12 and ended up in a class. It said staff, and it was a psych class. It said staff, and I go in there and Raymond Moody's teaching it. So my life has been a bunch of synchronicities or pieces that made sense as it went. It's been kind of like that, kind of like a bunch of aha moments, and he helped me a lot to make sense of what happened to me. There are a lot more details to my near-death experience, but it would just make this too long, and we've got to get back to the quizzes and stuff. But thank you for asking me, Marie. But all these years later, I've never forgotten, and it's sort of guided my whole life. I mean, I knew I had gifts little, and then when that happened, it opened up more things, sort of amped things up. And life has sort of amped things up. And when you have tragic things happen in your life, if you've already had some gifts, you'll find that more things open up in your life. And you really have to pay attention, and you really have to learn and nurture and dig deep in yourself. You're basically in life school. All of us are in life school. Every one of us on earth are in life school. And we either choose to just roll with the life while we're in these bodies, while our souls are in bodies. We just roll with what we're given. Or we realize and are really aware of we're rolling with life school and we're on these spiritual paths. Some of us are really aware that we're on a spiritual path, right? How many of you have always known or feel like you are on a spiritual path? How many have always known? You can just give me a yes in the comments. If maybe I make it hard on myself, but I've always known. I mean, I've had moments of kind of carefree in your teenage years or maybe your early 20s that I've kind of been like, oh, this is hard, or this is life, or this is, where I kind of like kicked back for a hot minute and rolled with it. No sorries needed ever, Marine. Yeah, absolutely, Francesca. I mean, there are moments that you kind of give into it, roll with it, and then I'd be thrown right back into the awareness of it. Sometimes you're just kind of rolling with it. But yeah, there are moments that can be like super hard. Super hard. And then there are moments in it that is so glorious, right? When you realize the miracles from it and the power from it and that you can kick into the energy from it and make a difference with it. Maurice and I had, but I was taught that when I was very young by the nuns in school. But sometimes the nuns can make it seem like you are controlled by the journey and you have nothing that you... Did the nuns allow you to know that you had gifts in it, Marie? Or did they just make you feel like the journey controlled you? Does that make sense? Sort of like I know when you're a nun, you are married to God. You're sacrificing to God. And Catholic schools are very strict. You're going by all the rules. You're following things. But does the spiritual journey tell you that you have certain gifts that you can utilize, that God or the Creator has given you to access? That's my question. Oh, progressive nuns. That's interesting. That's very interesting. So there's so many things that we have to, like, I read a lot. No, they didn't. They made you feel controlled. I also went to a Catholic school. So Marie said hers were progressive, and Rosemary saying hers didn't allow you to feel like you had any gifts or power. So what I did was I decided I was going to visit multitudes of religions. I was going to visit them and look for the common denominator in each of them, because I wanted to feel the common truth. I wanted to feel the common truth. But I knew deep inside of me that my common truth was my after what happened to me as a kid, that my personal relationship was my personal relationship. I didn't need a religion or building, ultimately. Because when that happened to me, and that expansive, big, whoa feeling, because, I could see my mom, my dad, my brothers, from whatever was happening to me, and it was like, whoa, this alone is happening to me, and nobody else can stop it. Thank you, Sea Cruise. Then I knew it was my relationship and my path and my decisions and my free will and whatever my choices were and how I lived my life and whether I did good or bad or whatever. It was my choice to ultimately do good or bad or make a difference, or it was my journey, my relationship, my choices, how I treated people, what I was going to do with it. So here we go, right? So I had to learn as much as possible and read as much as possible. And also, when you're reading these books, use your gut instinct. Do not believe everything you read in every spiritual book. Do not. Use your gut instinct. Use discernment. You can feel what sounds cray-cray and what sounds right, what feels correct. Use discernment. If things sound correct or feel right, that's what you do. Rosemary said, I actually was very shy and seeing them be aggressive with my brothers. That's not good. So, be that as it may, we have empathic and we have light workers, and then we have hypersensitive that are sensitive to everything in their environment, even down to the clothes, light, energy, whether people are being too loud, too aggressive. You know what I mean? Hypersensitive to sort of everything going on around them. People that are hypersensitive tend to be introverted, tend to like to stay in their own homes, not be around that many people, tend to not like to party or go out that much, tend to like to control their environment and their schedules, work, so to speak. Tend to like to control their schedules. I may have already said that. People that are hypersensitive, they get overwhelmed by strong sensory input like smells, sounds. They are very sensitive to subtleties that change in the environment, and they can be very sensitive to pain. They can be sensitive to things enough to want to go in a calm room. They're sensitive to caffeine and bright lights. But they have a very rich, complex inner life. Like when they dream or think about things and have ideas, they're deeply moved by arts and music. Their nervous system tends to get very easily frazzled. They don't like a lot of, when they go see a show and stuff, they don't like a lot of extra things going on in, like if they go see music play. They'd much rather see someone play acoustics than see all of the extra stuff go on in a show. They try to avoid making mistakes or forgetting things. They're very much a perfectionist. They try to avoid violent movies and stuff like that. They don't like to get hungry because it creates a very strong reaction and can disrupt their mood easily. They don't like changes in their life. It can shake them up. It's unpleasant for them to have a lot going on at once. They don't like intense stimuli. They don't like people to observe them when they're trying to complete a task. They might have been seen as sensitive or shy when they are a kid. They do not like to get involved or have people come to them when they are having social problems. Like they don't really like to get involved in the gossip between people. Does that sound like you? So that would be called a hypersensitive, highly sensitive person. Highly sensitive. Who has paper and a pen or pencil? Are you ready to take quizzes to see where you fit on the spectrum? Won't take long. Are you ready to take quizzes to help you out with this? Well, you don't have to do anything but write like 1 to 25 down, A and B in 2 columns, 1 to 25. A, 1 to 25, B, 1 to 25 and put a line between it. I'm not going to tell you which quiz is which quiz for a good reason. Don't try to answer any certain way to affect your outcome, because the people that made the quizzes were aware that people might do this. Understand? The people that created the quizzes were aware that people might try to do this. So do not try to affect your answers in any way. Answer honestly. All I want you to do beside each number is only check the one that sounds like you, like really sounds like you. Not kinda, not a little bit, that really sounds like you. Okay? Just check, put a check by the numbers that really sound like you. Because at the end, we'll add it up. Okay, here we go. Number 1, have I been labeled as overly sensitive, shy? Oh, is that the one? Hold on. Yeah, it is. Have been labeled as overly sensitive, shy, or introverted. Put a check if you have been labeled as overly sensitive, shy, or introverted. Number 2, put a check if you frequently get overwhelmed or anxious. This is frequently. Put a check if you frequently get overwhelmed or anxious. 3, arguments or yelling make you ill. Arguments or yelling make you ill. 4, feel like you don't fit in. 4, feel like you don't fit in. 5, drained by crowds and need alone time to revive yourself. Drained by crowds and need alone time to revive yourself. 6, overstimulated by noise, odors, or nonstop talkers. Overstimulated by noise, odors, or nonstop talkers. 7, have chemical sensitivities or can't tolerate scratchy clothes. Check it if you have chemical sensitivities or can't tolerate scratchy clothes. 8, prefer taking your own car places so you can leave early if you need to. No, this is the first quiz. This is all under A. This is all under quiz A. I'm reading, so I just had to go back and see if anybody had questions. We were on number 8. Prefer taking your own car places so you can leave early if you need to. Only check it if it sounds like you. 9, you overeat to cope with stress. Put a check if you overeat to cope with stress. This is quiz A. This whole thing is quiz A. 10, you're afraid of becoming suffocated by intimate relationships. 10, put a check if you're afraid of becoming suffocated by intimate relationships. Number 11, do you startle easily? Number 11, do you startle easily? 12, do you react strongly to caffeine or medications? 12, again, check it if you react strongly to caffeine or medications. 13, have a low pain threshold. Number 13, do you have a low pain threshold? 14, do you tend to socially isolate? 14, do you tend to socially isolate? Check it if you tend to socially isolate. Remember, you only check these if you seriously sound like you. 15, you absorb other people's stress, emotions, or symptoms. 15, you absorb other people's stress, emotions, or symptoms. Check it if you have it. 16, overwhelmed by multitasking and prefer doing one thing at a time. You're overwhelmed by multitasking and prefer to do one thing at a time. 17, you replenish yourself in nature. You replenish yourself in nature. 18, need a long time to recuperate after being with difficult people or energy vampires. Number 18, check if you need a long time to recuperate after being with difficult people or energy vampires. 19, you feel better in small cities or the country than large cities. You feel better in small cities or the country than large cities. Check if that's the way you feel. And number 20, you prefer one-to-one interactions or small groups rather than large gatherings. Number 20, you prefer one-to-one interactions or small groups rather than large gatherings. Okay, what I want you to do, count all of your checks. Count everything that you check and put a circle around it. Everything is under this whole quiz is quiz A. Count all of your checks and circle it. Write the number down and circle it for quiz A. I'll give you your answers after you do quiz B. And let me know when you're done. Everybody give me a heads up when you're finished. Rosemary's done. Shelly Marie's done. Natasha's done. Marie's done. Rosemary's done. Shelly's done. Natasha's done. Arseni's done. And Santavia's done. I think almost everybody's done. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three. Trying to see who else is taking the test. I want to make sure everybody's done. I don't know who else is taking the test. I want to be patient and kind. Hey, Moonchild. Happy to see you. Anybody tell me if I'm waiting on you? Because I don't want to head forward to the next one yet, if I'm waiting. Sorry, I didn't mean to chum ice on you. Okay, Everybody ready for the next one? We only have one more. No worries. Why did you quit? You didn't have to quit. Well, see, Chris, are you ready for the second one? Okay. Okay. You can always rewind if you want to, see, Chris. I'm sorry. Okay. Here we go. I think there's about 25 on here. I'm not sure. Here we go. Only check if it sounds definitely like you, okay? I am easily overwhelmed by strong sensory input. Again, I am easily overwhelmed by strong sensory input. That is number one. Number two, I seem to be aware of subtleties in my environment. Number two, I seem to be aware of subtleties in my environment. Again, only check if it sounds like you. Number three, other people's moods affect me. Other people's moods affect me. Only check if it sounds like you. You don't have to write it down. Only put a check beside the number if it sounds like you. Remember, you can always go back on the video later if you want to write this thing down. But right now, just put a check beside the number if it sounds like you. I tend to be very sensitive to pain is number four. I tend to be very sensitive to pain. 5. I find myself needing to withdraw during busy days, into bed or into darkened room or any place where I can have some privacy and relief from stimulation. Number 5 is I find myself needing to withdraw during busy days into bed or into a darkened room or any place where I can have privacy. Remember, this is quiz B. You're just writing the number down and putting a check beside it if it sounds like you. You don't have to write this whole thing down. If you want to, you can do it later. I will tell you where I got the quiz. I am Number 6, I'm particularly sensitive to the effects of caffeine. I'm particularly sensitive to the effects of caffeine. I'm easily overwhelmed by things like bright lights, strong smells, coarse fabrics, or sirens close by. I am easily overwhelmed by things like bright lights, strong smells, coarse fabrics, or sirens close by. Number 8 is I have a rich, complex inner life. I have a rich, complex inner life. Check it if it sounds like you. Number 9, I am made uncomfortable by loud noises. Number 9, I am made uncomfortable by loud noises. Number 10, I'm deeply moved by the arts or music. I am deeply moved by the arts or music. Hold on. Number 11, my nervous system sometimes feels so frazzled that I just have to go off by myself. Number 11, my nervous system sometimes feels so frazzled that I just have to go off by myself. Number 12, I am conscientious. Number 12, I am conscientious. Number 13, I startle easily. Number 13, I startle easily. Number 14, I get rattled when I have to do a lot in a short amount of time. Number 14, I get rattled when I have to do a lot in a short amount of time. Hold on. Number 15, when people are uncomfortable in a physical environment, I tend to know what needs to be done to make it more comfortable, like changing the lighting or the seating. When people are uncomfortable in a physical environment, I tend to know what needs to be done to make it more comfortable, like changing the lighting or the seating. Number 16, I'm annoyed when people try to get me to do too many things at once. Number 16, I am annoyed when people try to get me to do too many things at once. Number 17. Oh, wait a minute. Make sure I counted right. Hold on. Number 17. I try hard to avoid making mistakes or forgetting things. 17. I try hard to avoid making mistakes or forgetting things. 18. I make a point to avoid violent movies and TV shows. 18. I make a point to avoid violent movies and TV shows. 19. I become unpleasantly aroused when a lot is going on around me. 19. I become unpleasantly aroused when a lot is going on around me. 20. Being very hungry creates a strong reaction in me, disrupting my concentration or mood. 20. Being very hungry creates a strong reaction in me, disrupting my concentration or mood. 21. Changes in my life shake me up. 21. Changes in my life shake me up. 22. I notice and enjoy delicate or fine scents, tastes, sounds, works of art. 22. I notice and enjoy delicate or fine scents, tastes, sounds, works of art. And 23. I find it unpleasant to have a lot going on at once. I find it unpleasant to have a lot going on at once. 24. I make it a high priority to arrange my life to avoid upsetting, overwhelming situations. 24. I make it a high priority to arrange my life to avoid upsetting or overwhelming situations. Almost done, guys. 25. I am bothered by intense stimuli like loud noises or chaotic scenes. 25. I am bothered by intense stimuli like loud noises or chaotic scenes. 26. When I must compete or be observed while performing a task, I become so nervous or shaky that I do much worse than I would otherwise. When I must compete or be observed while performing a task, I become so nervous or shaky that I do much worse than I would otherwise. And last but not least, when I was a child, my parents or teachers seemed to see me as sensitive or shy. When I was a child, my parents or teachers seemed to see me as sensitive or shy. Okay, count up all your check marks of everything that seemed like it was talking about you. Count them all up, add them up, and circle the number for section B. And I will tell you what your scores mean. You can tell me when you're ready. I will tell you what your scores mean. No, never sorry. This should be interesting. Okay, everybody's getting done. And some of you may be a piece of both. And I've already described what Lightworker is, so. And I can throw out some sentences about Lightworker, but I'm not going to quiz you on that. Okay, let's read what they mean. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, to calculate your results for section A, it was about being an empath, by the way. If you answered yes to 1 to 5 questions, you're at least partially an empath. Responding yes to 6 to 10 questions for Quiz A means you have moderate empathic tendencies. Responding yes to 11 to 15 means you have strong empathic tendencies. And answering yes to more than 15 questions means that you are a full-blown empath. More than 15 means you're a full-blown empath. And this quiz was taken by Judith Orloff, MD. I love her. I used to read a lot of her story in the beginning because I could resonate with her journey. Quiz was taken from Dr. Judith Orloff. So, who's an empath in this room? Who is an empath in this room? Like a major empath. So a lot of you are. So did you hear me when I read them all? I know a lot of you. So Arseny is a major empath. Faux show. I just saw that score. I didn't see everybody's. You're a major empath, Shelley. Sontavia is a major empath. Hello, Monica Hall. How are you? I just did 2 quizzes. When you go back and watch, you can take the quizzes. But I will try to drop the links as well down in the description so people can go back and take the quizzes. Also, I encourage you to make comments and, communicate with me down in the comments under the channel, as some of you have been doing. Since we don't have our community channel yet, when we get to 500 subscribers, YouTube is changing the rules and we should be able to get our community channel. We're so close, but still so far away. So again, yes, please like and subscribe. Invite your friends to subscribe. When we get to 500, we should be getting a community channel where we can chat back and forth in this space. That would be awesome. It was going to be 1,000, but they're talking about 500. So yes, please help me grow. Help us grow. Oh, that's got to be a good thing, I hope, Arseny. It looks like we have a lot of empaths in here. Okay, for the second quiz. So happy you're here, Monica. How are you doing? That would be the good question. How are you doing, Monica? Let's get to the second quiz. I know people are waiting on it. Let me say, do they have? Okay, here it is. If you answered more than 14 of the questions as true of yourself on quiz B, you are probably highly sensitive. If you answered more than 14. But no psychological test is so accurate that an individual should base his or her life on it. We psychologists try to develop good questions, then decide on the cutoff based on the average response. If fewer questions are true of you, but extremely true, that might also qualify calling you highly sensitive. Also, although there are as many men as women who are highly sensitive, when taking the test, highly sensitive men answer slightly fewer items as true than do highly sensitive women. So, 20. Oh, you are very highly sensitive, Marie. Just 14. Arseny, you are highly sensitive and empathic. Whoa. How is your rash, Monica? Were you shivering the whole time, Arseny, or just shivering when you got in here? Santavia's empathic and highly sensitive too. Wow. We have a lot of gifted people in here that are both. We have a lot of gifted people in here that are both. Well, Moonchild, you're highly sensitive too. And what were you on the empathy one, Moonchild? I can't remember. Both, Rosemary? It feels like there's a lot of gifted people in here, actually. We're going to have to explore that. Well, Santavia, What was your empathy number, Santavia? Monica, sometimes try to do meditation and focus on the light wrapping around that rash and shutting it down. Wow. That speaks volumes, Arseny. Moonchild, look at you. Wow. We need, whoa. I can't wait till we get the community tab. That means we can really have some conversations even through the week. I just get this feeling that there are more gifts in here. And we really could make a difference. I need to have a brief session with you alone, Monica, sometime, probably this week. I'll send you a message. Also, I do want to announce again, and I have said it before, and I want to let you know, I had shut down for years. Probably the last at least 7 maybe, that I had not, like I said, I hate the word readings, etc., etc. Because of my son, because of so many things, gifts had opened up with me. You probably could call me a psychic, evidential, medical medium in all ways. More than medical. I mean, I'm a psychic, evidential medium, but also medical medium. It's just, I guess I got created to open up, to connect in how a person needs. I mean, I consider myself a spiritual psychotherapist, but be that as it may, unless a person is in severe crisis, I'm cherry picking outside of this community, but I'm opening my services up to this community. Of course, I do charge, but I'm calling it a love donation. So I'm not creating, this is what I charge and this is what I pay. I'm accepting love donations. So I'm helping people and they just send love donations. So I'm not saying you have to pay me this. I will help a person and they can just send a love donation. Does that make sense? That's how I feel spiritually better of how it needs to be. Um, People have just started being sent to me. Literally sent to me in crisis. And I got opened up whether I wanted to or not. So here we go. I guess I'm opened up. So I'm only taking people outside of this community that are in crisis, and inside of this community, I'm just opening up to you. So if you are in this community, any one of you can book me. But outside of the community, they can only come to me in crisis. I think I'm confusing myself. That way I'm baby stepping. Because also loved ones on the other side are knocking on my door whether I want them to or not. And I used a lot of my gifts with my son. He's not here now. And my daughter's getting grown. So, anyway, here we are. And I love you all. And I want you to know, yes, it says, Dear Dana, but I'm going to reiterate. I don't, like, I go to YouTube school every Tuesday, and it says, what is your channel about? I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. I put psych, spiritual, social, and I have to abbreviate because now my banner doesn't really, I don't know what to say. So if you can help me, I appreciate it because I've kind of not been a one horse pony. And we go from laughing about things to talking about serious things to talking about spiritual education. So I don't know what to call this. Some of them are reality TV. Well, I'm not. So I don't know how to describe this channel. So if you have a better way of describing it, I would appreciate it because I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have made it easy by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know that I 100% know how to describe it. They want you to niche it. Some are gaming channels, some are reality TV channels, some are beauty channels. Thank you, Paranormal Witch. And I don't think I'm a niche. I don't think I'm a niche. I don't know if I am a something. Do you? Thank you so much, Rosemary. I greatly appreciate. I can't talk tonight. At least I can spit out most of my words tonight, right? I appreciate you, Rosemary, so much. So if you all can think of a category I fit on under, I appreciate it. I just didn't want to be a one horse pony. Arsony. My heart. Thank you. I think I have advice, social commentary, and something else. I can't remember. Advice, social commentary. I don't remember. I know I need to change my banner. It's too plain. A spiritually guided channel for good humans. Oh, yeah, I like that. You know how I like good humans. Thank you so much, Arsony, so much. I can't even tell you, I know I say it all the time, how much I value all of you. Spiritual Education Channel. I would like to see us grow and grow and grow more. So we would be able to see that people understood they had a safe haven. Hey, Liberia Rose. We had quizzes tonight, too, that you could take to help you understand more about being a highly sensitive person or an empath. So if you rewind, when this is over, you can take the quizzes. Woohoo! Good job, Monica. Good job. That makes me so happy to hear. Sorry, I didn't mean to bust anybody's eardrums. Sorry. Monica and I had a conversation, and we needed to get rid of some shadow people. Forgive me if I busted anybody's eardrums. Yeah, thank you, Marie. That means so much to me because, I was teaching English to Chinese students, among other subjects. And all of a sudden, we are not allowed to teach our students in China anymore because the government decided it did not want American teachers having an influence on their students. And I have been teaching them since 9 months after I lost my son. And that was one of my saving graces too, because I was able to interact with those kids like I did my child. And then all of a sudden it's gone. I can't. I mean, I teach some classes on OutSchool. I mean, I create the curriculum, one of my most popular right now. Sorry, the Chinese government decided they no longer wanted their students being taught by American teachers. And what I was saying before, I've got 2 classes on OutSchool, and I create the curriculum, and I have an advanced pre-K class I teach, which is usually popular, but it's been slow. But right now I'm teaching a communications class, and moms are throwing their teenage boys in it right now for whatever reason. Thank you, Sontavia. Thank you. All of you are coming in my heart and my soul for all the perfect reasons. I have just never been able to categorize my channel. Never. When people ask me, because I started the channel initially thinking I would be the new day Dear Abby, because I'm a psychotherapist. People would write and call in with their problems, and I would give them advice. And it did not fly. People didn't get the message, they didn't get the jive of it, and it went 180 degrees different. And I guess I was being spiritually led down a different road because it didn't do that. See, Cruz says, we can't put Dana in a box. No, I guess I didn't go there at all. No, I didn't, did I? I sure did not. But I just, you all just, I'm speechless, you all just mean so much to me, really, really, really. And I'm willing to teach, talk, go down the road with you all. I just, you have to realize people on YouTube are just people. You are you're my tribe, remember? Your vibe attracts your tribe. And you can talk to me down in the comments and let's get this thing going, and I will talk to you, throw at you, teach you whatever you want to know about spiritual gifts, spiritual journeys, social stuff, or even psychological stuff about why people are doing what they do, or how their minds are working. Or, look, there are some spiritual things that have opened up for me in the last couple of years that would blow your mind that I didn't know could happen. Okay? I'm not even kidding. And there are things I've learned psychologically that I've gotten to experience that it's just out of this world. And there are things that they've been doing in government for years that is possible, like remote viewing. It is possible to be able to teach yourself and see things from a distance in your mind. It is possible. Like your mind is a video camera to see things from a distance. I have seen and been exposed and been taught and experienced so many things. We are just a tiny, tiny piece in the Creator's plan, and a tiny, tiny piece scientifically in the universe. We are. And guess what? Scientifically, spiritually, with the Creator, everything. These things aren't all separate. They're not separate. And sometimes in religion, people want to say, if you don't believe this, you're going to hell. And if you say this, you're not a part of us. And if it's this, it's not that. No. And I'm going to say, in my opinion, allegedly, whatever, okay? It's no, it's no, it's no. All of these things fit together. You just have to see all the pieces. You just have to see all the pieces. It's like people believing they're the one true people, or it's like saying, okay, I have these 3 babies, and only you 2 get to go. Really? Really? Discernment. Trust your gut. Use love. Right? Use love. What did I miss? Yeah, William never calls in. Yeah, Willow is very helpful. So is Sheila. Oh, thank you, Marie. I don't want to just throw. Oh, Freckles is good. Willow, you're welcome to come up anytime you want. My stomach is getting hungry. It's talking to me. But it's already 9:30. That would be a good topic, shadow people and stuff like that. And like I told you, October, we can talk about all the things scary. Yes, it does, Natasha. Oh, thank you, Marie. But I do like Freckles. Yes, listening to your gut always works. Oh, no. Yeah, we'll talk about. But like I said, shadow people was a good topic. Till we get the community page, which is going to be so great. Like I said, 500 subscribers. I'm talking like I'm 2 subscribers. 500 subscribers gets me a community page. I think I'm at 327 subscribers. So close, but so far away. So yeah, invite people to subscribe if you think they would like this kind of conversation and this kind of participation. Yeah, we're going to do the haunting thing next month. I'm trying to get Eden to go on a haunting expedition with me live, where y'all are participating too. Get your pen and paper next time. This is what I want to dedicate October to. Plus, I have a box. But anyway, that's another conversation. I haven't been able to utilize it properly. Anywho, my stomach's talking. My brain can't think. I'm tired. Talk to me in the comment box when you want to make suggestions, when you want to make comments, until we get the community tab. If you have friends that you think would vibe with us, please invite them to subscribe. If you came late and you want to know about if you are a highly sensitive person or if you're an empath, feel free to take the quizzes. I'm going to remember to put the link below about where I got the test. Please look up Dr. Judith Orloff. She had experiences that took her to the path of how she knew that she was an empath and other things. And she is a doctor. So that is pretty cool. Thank you, Willow. But my path was I was very resistant. I got pulled kicking and screaming before I started accepting my gifts, and my first child had a lot to do with me accepting them, because, like I said, he couldn't feel pain the first 2 years, he couldn't speak, so I had to, for all intensive purposes, be able to feel him and communicate with him in different ways. Oh, thank you, Monica. Yeah, I want to make fun October, more supernatural stuff and things like that. I'm still spiritual, but there's so much that exists that we try to poo-poo. Why do we feel like just because we're in this body that nothing else exists? Once this body breaks down, we just kind of step out of it. I mean, of course, most of us go to heaven, but some of us, not us, there are ghosts that get stuck. Thank you, Moonchild. But be that as it may, I love all of you. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to make any suggestions of things you'd like to see or do in here, please put them in the comments until we get our community tab. This has been enlightening and fun today. You are all so beautiful and awesome. I shall see you on Wednesday. And tell me what you find out about yourself. Thank you, Marie. Yeah, my son. I really do believe that he was sent here as an earthbound angel. And we do have some of those. You know how the Bible says something about you never, I can't say it specifically, but you know how you never know if you're entertaining or an angel entertain. What is that phrase? Basically, it's saying you never know if you might be entertaining an angel unaware. Right? Guess what? There are earthbound angels. There are earthbound angels. Yes, Arseny, always happy you're here. Maybe one day I'll actually get to see your face. Anyway, you all have a lovely rest of your weekend. I love you, and I will see you on Wednesday. Remember, your tribe, your vibe attracts your tribe. Yes, that's what it is. I need food. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on Wednesday. Bye. And that is it. Bye, everybody. Ooh, I will find it now. Take care.